Professor Black Ops, you see it. Let's get it. Hackers and malware, PowerPoint. Hackers are putting malware in PowerPoint. Be careful. PowerPoint is a widely used corporate application too. So, once again, quick article. Let's check it out. Hackers use PowerPoint files for mouseover malware delivery. Hackers believed to work in Russia have started using new code execution techniques that relies mouse movement in PowerPoint presentation to trigger a malicious PowerShell script. No malicious macro is necessary for the malicious code to execute and download the payload for more of an insidious attack. A report from an intelligence agency company Cluster 25 says APT 28, which is called Fancy Bear, a threat group attributed to the Russian main Intelligence Directorate of the United for the Russian General Staff, had used a new technique to deliver graphite malware as recently as September the 9th, 2022. The threat actor lures targets with the PowerPoint extension file allegedly linked to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, an internal government organization working towards stimulating economic progress and trade worldwide. So that's the phishing part to it. You're going to get it from this organization of economics. Inside the PowerPoint, there are two slides, both featuring instruction in English and French for using an interpretation option in Zoom video conference app. So it sort of looks like that on the screen. The PowerPoint contains a hyperlink that acts as a trigger for launching a malicious PowerShell script using the Send app publisher server utility. This technique has been documented since June 2017. Multiple researchers explained at the time how the infection works without the malicious macro nested inside an Office document. Based on the metadata found in Cluster 25, says the hackers have been preparing this campaign between January and February, although the URLs used in the attack appeared active in August and September. That shows you the date when the PowerPoint and the graph malware was used. Researchers said the threat actors targets entities in defense and government sectors of countries in the European Union and Eastern Europe, and believe that those espionage campaigns are ongoing. The infectious chain: when opening the Lure document in presentation mode, the victim hovers over the mouse over hyperlink, and a malicious PowerShell script is activated to download a JPEG file from a Microsoft OneDrive account. The JPEG is an encrypted DLL that is decrypted and dropped into the program data directory, later executed as run DLL32.exe. A registry key for persistence is also created for the DLL. So that shows you in this trigger malicious. There's the DCO22.jpg right there. That shows you the decryption technique there. Then the persistence and execution. Shows you the reg edit add. And there's the run DLL32.exe right there. Next, the LPI.dll fetches and decrypted a second JPEG file and downloads it into memory on a new thread previously created by the DLL. Cluster 25 detailed that each of the strings in a newly created file requires a different XOR key for deobfuscation. The resulting payload is graphic malware and portable execution. The graphite abused the Microsoft Graph API and the OneDrive to communicate with the command and control server. The threat actor accesses the service by using the fixed client ID to obtain a valid OIF token. So that shows you the fixed ID right there. I think that's how they're tracking it onto the Microsoft OneDrive. With the new OAuth token, Graphite requires the Microsoft Graph API for new commands by enumerating the child's files to check for the OneDrive subdirectory. If a new file is found, the content is downloaded and decrypted through the AES-256 decryption algorithm. Cluster 25 says adding that malware allows for remote command execution for allocating a new region of memory, executing a received shellcode by calling a new dedicated thread. So one reason they do all that is right, is because virus protection and malware has a pattern. When you start firing off different threads and different commands, right, it doesn't look like the same pattern as it's used in the past. Graphite malware's purposes allow the attacker to load other malware into the system memory. It has been documented back in January by researchers at Trellix. A merger of McAfee and FireEye, whose name is so specifically because it's leveraged the Microsoft Graph API to use OneDrive as a C2. C2 is command and control server. The campaign that Trellix investigated using an Excel document titled Parliament Rule XLSC and Mission Budget that appeared to target government employees and individuals in the defense industry. So if you see Parliament and Mission, those are quite common in government and defense contracts and industry. Based on the code similarities with the malware samples of 2018, targeting and infrastructure used for attacks, Trellix has attributed the graph to APT28 with the low moderate of confidence, right? So AP28, all of those are known hacker groups, right? So long story short, be careful with hacker malware, PowerPoint. They're out to get you. So have a nice day. Please subscribe.